Well, I've been in television for over 30 years. A lot of it, I worked in news television for a lot of years. Then I ran handheld camera for a lot of years on a lot of major sporting events. I spent a lot of money on chiropractors and anti-inflammatories. And of course, as you start getting older, you know, stuff all catches up with you. And I got to the point where I really was having trouble just moving, trying to get out of bed. And I didn't know what was going on. I went to a doctor and he said, hey, you've got arthritis in your spine. There's nothing you can do about it. And so I started looking for a holistic organic equivalent to that. My research said anti-inflammatory is what you need. So a friend of mine told me about a product that had the acai berry in it. It was a great anti-inflammatory. I tried it and I had good results with it. Art McCluskey had started his own company and was putting a large amount of the acai berry in his product. And I started drinking his product as they were formulating it, and I got that same great anti-inflammatory feeling back. My mental fog almost just went away. My night vision improved. I'm a photographer, so I notice any kind of nuance in my vision whatsoever. I noticed that I could see, I could read signs on the freeway I never could really focus on before, and I just noticed that my vision sharpened up immensely. I drink Vanu 2 or 3 times a day, and I don't have those aches and pains that would move around mysteriously in my body. And I started learning how to really 10, 15 years back on my life, without a doubt, without a doubt. I couldn't work, we worked horrible hours in our business. We worked 10, 15 hours all the time. 10-hour day standard in our industry. And boy, by the end of those days, I was dragging. And the uptick in my energy is just off the scale. Like I say, I feel like I'm 25, 30 years old again. There's nothing I could do now I couldn't do then. When Mark introduced me to the product, I told him I wanted to get on board with a company, and I became a distributor. And I think the way that you become a distributor and that you're successful is the product has to work for you. You have to say, this is what it did for me. You know, any other thing, I just don't think, look anybody in the eye and go, if you don't try this, if you're 50 years old and you don't try this, you're crazy. Try 2 bottles of it and call me back. And I don't say anything else. I just give it to them. I don't even call them back. They're calling me in 2 or 3 days going, can I get some more of this stuff? I don't know what's in it, but I hadn't felt this good in years. I have a job in Las Vegas I do every year that's high stress for about 2 weeks. I'll drink a bottle every 2 or 3 days. I will just, as much of it as I can drink. You can't drink too much of it. And it depends on how hard I'm going and how full throttle I am. I could go full throttle again. I used to just couldn't do it. And that's what our job requires a lot of. It's not a drug. It doesn't just hit you. You know, it's more subtle. And like the first thing I noticed is I woke up in the morning, jumped out of bed, went into the kitchen, started making a cup of tea, and realized I'm doing this and I don't hurt. It didn't take me 15, 20, 30 minutes to get out of bed. Like, okay, what's going to hurt today? Is it going to be my lower back? Is it going to be my shoulders? Is it going to be my neck? You know, and you just forget about it. And when your body, I think, feels good is when you don't feel any pain. This is just natural energy. And at the end of the night, I close my eyes and I sleep like a rock. My REM sleep, I have these great vivid dreams like when I was younger, and I notice I wake up in the morning and I feel refreshed. I don't feel like I call it a work hangover. I don't have a work hangover the next day. Overall feeling of well-being and just an overall feeling of not being overwhelmed by the day or the job, or it's easy in our industry to get overwhelmed. You know, I love it because it's high pressure, but after a while that starts grinding on you. You know, and if you go 5 or 6 days on a show that's just really high pressure, it starts grinding on everybody, and everybody starts getting a little irritable. And now I just sit back and go, you know, it's just rolling off of me. Let's get it done. Let's move on. And it just gives me a sense of well-being that I hadn't had since I was a lot younger. You know, I don't worry about things near as much. I know I've got the energy and the mental clarity to solve those problems and to be as good as I can be in my industry. And I take great pride in what I do, and I want to be the best I can be at it, or I don't want to do it.